Hey guys, this is my end of week video and some things I'm looking at here. Basically, we trading in this nice little double channel here on the ESs, and we're going into the end of the week. It looks to me like prices are, even with that stimulus news last night, it looks like prices are coming in to finish the week, like we have a possible uh, uh, blown off top area, and we might be resolving lower next week. So definitely something going on here. We do have, um, Biden's getting inaugurated next week. A lot of risk, a lot of worry going into next week about the whole inauguration, uh, changing of the guard, so to speak. So some things we're looking at here. It looks like we are going to be trying to defend this pre-market low and this primary uptrend channel so far this morning. So definitely something to keep on watch here. We do have so this is actually a black line now. That's an untested low. We haven't tested that yet during the normal market session. We come down and we start breaking down today. 37.47 would be the next level, an untested low. Okay, in the after hour session. So it's another one, 37.48 area. If things were to go real bearish, which with the big stimulus talk, I don't see that happening, but we'll see. And then all time highs, we do have an untested high at all time highs on the ESs here. So just going forward, here's a few of the things on the ESs that I'm looking at here. Okay, on the NQs, they were really not catching any type of money flow yesterday, and I really think it was about them crushing option premiums. We've had a really good run up, and this is OPEX today, so monthly expiration, and I think the market makers were doing their best to suppress open interest or suppress premium on the options. And this sell off today is going to go a long ways to subdue a lot of that premium that went in to the overnight session. There were some huge volumes in SPY or open interest in SPY coming into today's session. So a lot of those uh, market maker uh, market makers and fund managers and stuff, who have been selling credit, uh, writing options, they're getting paid this morning as this premium's coming out. A lot of these options with only 1 day to go, and they'll do this routinely uh, to uh, these sell-offs routinely just to suppress that premium. So you really have to have momentum on your side in situations like this because it gives them the opportunity to suppress that premium in the overnight session and get paid where they otherwise wouldn't. So some things I'm just looking at right here. So basically, we do have a overnight low here, pre-market low from a couple days ago. We haven't tested that yet. We just missed it, and that's also lines up with Tuesday's open. So I'm thinking NQs are quite possibly going to see lower lows in today's session. So remember that, and we do have several untested uh, after hours lows down here on the NQs if and when they decide to start breaking this down. And some of these tech stocks really look like major rotation coming out of them. So definitely, I'm starting to look to the bearish side on the NQs of levels going forward here. And we still do have one all-time high uh, uh, level on the NQs that has not been tested yet. So a few little things, tidbits that I am pushing out here. And we do have a steeper slope on the NQs as well on our trend. So breaking trend on NQs is actually even easier than that of the S&Ps. So definitely something to think about going forward here. But I do think we are going to be coming down and at the very least fulfilling this pre-market or that untested low on the NQs early on this morning. So one of those things that I'm putting out there to think about. And today is really about the Russell with all the bank earnings hitting the tape. And we know the banks have just been absolutely on a tear running into the earnings. And I'm actually short IWM for the overnight session, uh, thinking that they are going to sell the news a little bit on this run up, but I could be dead wrong. But we do have major earnings hitting. I think a lot of it seems to me, at least from initially from what happened with the bonds earlier this week, that they're getting ahead of themselves on this Biden transition in the markets, and I'm really thinking on the Russell. That's another scenario here that the markets are getting ahead of the actual value uh, going into the news. So basically, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the theory that I've got going on here in today's session. Thinking that we're probably going to get some continued selling pressure in today's session. But we'll see what happens. We do have an untested, the black line here at near all-time highs here, the 2163.70, untested to the upside. And then we have some stuff, even untested areas from this week, overnight session lows just from this week that have not been tested yet. So yeah, I would love to see a drawdown in the Russell here back into the primary channel. As you can see, you know, overbought situations tend to get sold back into this channel. So basically, we're either getting an absolute true breakout into a whole new trading zone, which could very well be the case, or this thing is probably going to come back in. And as we're seeing relative weakness so far this morning, despite the stimulus news, I'm still leaning to the fact that we're probably going to come back into our primary channel instead of busting out. We'll see how the earnings come out and see if uh, momentum buyers come in to continue to push those uh, banks even higher after such an impressive move the past couple weeks. Themes I'm looking at here, we have had a sell down, but on extremely light volume. This is OPEX. A lot of the times you'll get heightened volume as a lot of times you'll get heightened volume into OPEX. And to see the extremely light volume, I mean, this is at 5:30 in the morning, but look at this, only 42,000 contracts on SPY at 5:30 in the morning. Very, very, very light volume so far this morning. So even though we have a drawdown in the markets, this actually leans to me to believe this is more bullish the markets because the trend is up, and they just cannot get the markets to come down on any significant volume from what I'm seeing so far today. Okay, some things I'm looking at here. That is our ZNs, the highest volume so far this morning on our futures contracts. And I do think we are about to break lower today on the ZNs. And that would potentially be a bullish catalyst for the Russell in that scenario and the banks, depending on how the markets want to digest the earnings data. So basically, lower the bonds, the higher the yields. And as of we know, we just a massive additional $1.9 trillion stimulus just announced going forward into today's session. So massive stimulus just announced. So that suggests to me that we're probably going to continue to see selling pressure today in our bonds. Now, on a contrary note, that would be our crude oil. We do have a double top in on our crude. Typically, that is a sell signal. In times past, putting a double top in on crude, that is major resistance. So, and we are well above weekly value here on crude. So I'm actually thinking we're probably going to come in a little bit further on crude today. Now, I'm not yelling that there's going to be a big sell down. I'm just suggesting that we are overvalued on crude and it has largely been driving IWM to the upside this past week, and that's one of the major driving forces between it and the banks. And so we've got a little bit of selling pressure here, and we might have a sell the news situation with the banks. So two scenarios that I've got going on here with the Russell going into today's session. So basically, what I'm thinking here on the banks, the impending price or price that's coming in as you know to bring in some of that premium off of the all the off the open interest. I did notice also there was significant uh, open interest on the put side for IWM today. So just remember that if that's the case, if they're trying to destroy the most open interest, then they're probably going to rally IWM today. So I just went with the open interest, stuck with the trend. But if you're thinking from a market rider uh, perspective, option rider, the market they're going to try to hold IWM to up today to destroy that premium on those puts and all that put protection. As far as Netflix goes, they have earnings Tuesday night, and so this is one definitely I gotta watch here. Let's see here, Zoom. Sorry. So I'm thinking a relief rally in play here for autos or Netflix, with a potential pop back up to the 510 area going into next week and earnings. So that is one thesis that I'm putting out there going into today's session. A potential bid in Netflix into its earnings next week. Similar situation I had set up yesterday on Boeing, and that worked out very well. Another theme that I'm looking at here, Facebook's down here at very critical support. I mean, super duper critical support. We know it was good that in his little speech last night, Biden didn't mention social media one time. So that was a good thing. We might actually see a relief rally in Facebook and, you know, from at these levels. So definitely something I'm looking at here. I'm actually looking more to tech as outperforming today versus IWM, as IWM's already put in. It's already beyond expected moves on a lot of their components, especially financials. Um, so financials and energy, they have been super hot this week. So as far as a practical, you know, option rider standpoint, they're probably going to try to bring IWM today, and possibly rally some tech today after getting a really good smackdown this week. Another one I'm still watching today. That's Boeing. We do have industrial production numbers hitting at 8:30 this morning. So we did have worse than expected unemployment claims yesterday and continuing claims. So double negative for that. And we are going into industrial production numbers this morning. So I'm definitely keeping this on watch. We rallied yesterday. That was a really nice pop yesterday. I don't know if we'll get it today. Like I said, I'm thinking we're going to see a little bit more downside, especially on the NASDAQ, before we actually get a buy signal near the open. So definitely something to keep on watch going forward today. And definitely, at least as of yesterday, there was absolutely zero by anybody willing to put money to work in tech world. So definitely something to think about going into today's session. Okay. Yeah, that's just a few things. If you got anything, please leave comments below. Like the video if you like it, and I will see you guys in the trading room. And if you guys ever want to join us in the Zoom room, as a visitor or something like that, just DM me or something, and I'll see about getting you in the room for a day or something, and see if you want to participate. Thanks a lot.